I want you all to ask me lots of questions. You can pick my brain. You can ask me anything. I'm here, and I would like to have a question. You expose yourself to as much as you can, and then you have to make it your own. I mean, if I see Lee Radziwill's bedroom one more time in some variation, I'm going to scream. And so that's not being creative. It's being inspired, some little part of something that you put together in your own way. That's being creative. As I say, you're painting a picture, but don't copy it because it's too obvious because we all see it. I really stopped buying a lot for quote unquote inventory because it can kill you and it ties up your capital. And it is the complicated thing of them thinking, well, how much money are they making? So that's why we buy it for the job and we're completely transparent. Scale is everything. And I think that often people make it too small or too big. What I love to do is mix scale. So you might have a big sofa and then, you can have a pair of comfortable chairs and then a pair of smaller chairs. So there's a variety of scales that make it more interesting than if everything is too big. I always wanted to be tall and thin, and I'm not. So I want it tall. So I put a tall mirror. I like to draw the eye up. You've got to talk about money. You've got to talk about money right in the very beginning. What is your budget? What are you comfortable spending? People, I've had so many people call, oh, I love you, da, da, da. And I have this house and I want to spend $75,000. I said, for my taxi ride? No, but it's sort of like there's sometimes they're just not realistic. And so you have to have that discussion. If people have limited money, I would rather they spend it all on one room and make that room look good than to try to spread it all over the house and nothing looks good. What's interesting is sometimes you go shopping or and you take them shopping and they go in and they fall in love with something and it's over the budget, but they'll buy it. It's why it's good to take your clients shopping. I think show houses are still really important. I think if you're starting out, people will find you. I think that, interestingly enough, they're good to do in emerging places. They're expensive, but I do think they're certainly well received, and it gets you out there. I feel like right now I couldn't be the best marriage counselor in the world after all these years. It's complicated what we do. It's so personal. And for the clients, it's often anxious. They're anxious. And I think that's why the more you know, the calmer you are, and the more confident you are, you will win their trust. I can tell you the client not to take is the one that calls you up and said, I've had 4 decorators and it's not worked out and I just know you're going to be the perfect one. And I said, no, I'm not. Don't fall for that one. That's the hardest thing in what we do is that it's that finish. It's the last stretch, and we all know, well, this room would look better if the paintings were hanging on the wall and if this was whatever. I think that sometimes you take a break and that they will come back because they'll realize that that last thing is missing. They didn't put on the earrings. They didn't take it. And that's often the hardest part.